just before I turned the camera on, we were discussing kind of touring and then being able to visit all these different kinds of places. I watched a bit in preparation of the uh, Quebec City performance that you put online,
Mm-hmm.
and it just seems
Yeah.
like such a good time. It seemed like such a fun concert. When you, I don't know if you ever look at yourself back, but when you see a concert like that or you go through it, um, yeah, what do you think? What comes up in your mind?
Um, I mean, yeah, that show was we also had two shows in Quebec City. That was like the kickoff for this tour. And yeah, it was amazing. I mean, there were so many people, and we just felt very grateful to, to come there and play for all these people. And of course, I mean, it doesn't, we did like really like there were a lot of cameras, and we recorded the whole live thing, so we don't do that all the time. I mean,
Hmm.
so yeah, that's special for us as well. Also like a chance, yeah, to just like, capture the whole vibe, the whole show, and like, yeah, watch it afterwards. And of course, yeah, that gives you like goosebumps sometimes. I mean, like it's nothing compared to like the actual show, like
Sure.
that moment, but it captures at least like, a bit of that feeling. So yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, and I think it's cool to see as well the development of from where you started, where it was basically just yourself and Philip is doing everything very stripped down in a way, where it's just you and a
Sure.
guitar and then some box to drum on, and now you have this band around you, and you have had it for a while. But how do you see that development yourself from where you started and now you're full band on stage, and you seem very comfortable on stage as well? Is that something you had to grow into?
Yes, for sure. I mean, that was probably like one of the most tricky parts of our career, if you can
Okay.
say so. Um, because in the very beginning, when we recorded the first album and when we released it, we didn't have the idea of starting a band or like a music career or whatever. So it really happened to us kind of.
Hmm.
And we were like, okay. And then all of a sudden there was like the opportunity or like the yeah, like the attention got more and more and bigger, and like people like, yeah, there were like requests of yeah, if we could play live. And we were like, you know, okay, how shall we do this? We're like two guys. And so we did it like super shut down and like, but that was just like out of the, yeah, urgency to somehow bring that music on
Hmm.
stage. And we didn't really have the time to like really think about it, like, yeah, what do we want to be? Like, what kind of act do we want to be on stage? So we really had to grow into that while being on tour. Maybe that's also like something that we wish, yeah, like looking back at it, we wish for having more time for that. Like more time for that not being in the spotlight, you know? So, and now it's really like, I think like since, well, we are four piece now since, what is it? Since 2016, I guess.
Hmm.
So since then, we like still, yeah, we were de developing a lot, but now we really feel like, yeah, but we're still like, evolving, and but yeah, we feel like this is us, this is what we want to be. Like we want to be like we all come from playing instruments. We're like live
Sure.
musicians, and we want to transport that uh on stage.
When you talk about this, and I find this fascinating because you say, well, we weren't planning on being a band, and obviously you have incredible success with Stolen Dance. So as you mentioned, then the attention comes in, and I believe you had about a tour booked with 100 plus shows even before the debut album was out, if I'm not mistaken. Doing
No, I mean
or may,
it happened at the same
okay,
time, kind of. I mean, it all happened like really fast, but I mean, I don't even remember because like we put out the album ourselves, like very DIY on a very
mm.
small scale, and then like
Right,
we did like a proper release on a, like bigger and all that. So for us, it was like we released that album a couple times, like two times at least within like 1.5 years. And and in between and after that there were a lot of shows already. So yeah.
how do you see kind of the road to where you are now in terms of notoriety or in terms of I don't know if fame is the right word, but to kind of all these different ways of
Okay. Yeah, I mean YouTube is and was back then and still is a very important platform for
hmm,
us. I mean, yeah, like 10 years ago, like our music got viral on YouTube. I mean, YouTube is still like one of the biggest platforms when it comes to share and experience music. Of course, like streaming, got really, really big, but YouTube still is a, place where people hang out and dive
sure.
into music and videos and live performances and all that. So, of course, like for us, it was very important. And yeah, it was like one of the platforms where it all happened. And um yeah, I mean, it is just like I mean, of course, like social media, streaming, YouTube, all that. I mean, it's all the internet platforms are important, And that is just like the way uh artists can reach out to their fans and show their work, basically. And same for us.
But I think one of the things that the lockdowns of the past years have shown us is there's nothing to substitute for the real thing. So what does it mean to you to kind of see the people that you're playing to, and then as you are on tour now to be able to kind of feel the audience and what how do you approach that?
Yeah, I mean, it's just like as you said, there's nothing that can substitute that. Um, there's no, yeah, I mean, like, streaming numbers or clicks on YouTube are really hard to grasp and to understand. It is just numbers,
Sure.
And when you see the actual fans and the people listening to your music and like real emotion and all that, you understand like, oh, like this, like the music does something to people, And it really does. And you're just having a great time together with them. I think that's also like a beautiful thing about like shows and concerts, like that feeling of togetherness,
Hmm.
like in a very peaceful way, just like celebrating life and music and being in that moment, like very present. I love that. And yeah, there's yeah, nothing. like that.
But that's, I think, then the fascinating thing about music, as you mentioned, because I don't know, the songs generally start with just you or you and Philip together. So the fact that it then grows into this communal thing is very interesting. So let's delve a little bit into the creative side then, and then particularly with this new album. Where does it start, the itch to write again? Do you always write, or do you kind of specifically think, okay, we're making an album, I got to get the juices flowing again? How do you write songs?
No, we always write. I mean, of course, like there's phases where you don't. I mean, we always have ideas,
Mm.
I think. Like writing and creating music was and is just like a very natural thing for us. Just a way of expression, it's like ex self-expression and a way of like dealing with things for us and communicating things or processing things that, yeah, that we're dealing with. And like during, yeah, like since the first lockdown, we all had, yeah, we just had a lot of time and a lot of space to go to the studio on a daily basis. And like, yeah, go to the studio every week, every day. And we just did like music. We really enjoyed that because like we then like we just did music without having that schedule or that
Mm.
plan ahead. So like the music that you can hear on this album, uh, we wrote like during the last 2 years, and we were just like trying out a lot of things. We were also like working together with other people, other musicians, other songwriters. So we were diving into that. We were also like curious to try out new things, try out new approaches, not doing it the same way again and again. Um, so we did that, and that was like our playground, and we really enjoyed that.
How do you end up with a song like "Frequency of Love"? Then, as you mentioned, you just experimenting, trying out new things, kind of getting outside of your comfort zone a little. How does a song like "Frequency of Love" kind of come to be or arise?
Um, that one, what was it? It was, I mean, like all of the songs we recorded in our studio in Berlin.
Okay.
That's where we based now, and where we all live. So we spend a lot of time there. And yeah, just as I mentioned before, like trying out new ways of creating things. I mean, we work very naturally and intuitionally in the studio.
Okay.
It's not like we meet like and then like, oh yeah, I have a vision or like let's create something like this or that or whatever. I mean, of course, like you need a starting point, but sometimes it's also just like us entering the studio and like grab an instrument that's, close and just
Sure.
start jamming and go by with the mood that you're into right now. And for Frequency of Love, Philip was just like playing on the Prophet, like a synthesizer. And yeah, he was like having these chords and they were like more slow and we're like, I mean, we wanted to do something slower, but yeah, then we just like went for that, you know. And then just like it is really like ping pong thing, you have these chords played and you start feeling that and you just like, ideas are coming up, um, and then it goes like back and forth and then yeah.
And then, yeah, but maybe also the way I see it is it also trying not to overthink it too much, just the process.
Yeah, yes, of course. Yeah. I mean, like we're really coming from go with the flow.
Mm.
And then of course like there's like moments, then you recall like a lot of stuff, and then the next day you meet again and you like listen to what we've done yesterday, and you start. Then sometimes you start thinking about it,
Sure.
you know, but also, yeah, not too much. And yeah, really like it is, yeah, we just go very naturally and intuitionally. And we're not conceptual artists.
Right.
Yeah, like musically not, and also like lyrically not.
What is your approach then with the lyrics? Because you mentioned it's also a way to get certain things off your chest or to kind of express certain feelings. And if you, I mean, there's two songs in particular, at least the way I see it, "Living in a Haze" and "Better Off," which are, if you listen to the lyrics, it's quite, it can be dark, or you can interpret it as quite dark. But then the music is very club beatish, and it's these club bangers. So how do you balance those two worlds in a way, and what do you try to do with the lyrics?
Yeah, I mean, we always did that in some sort of way, that mixture of like the upbeat music that really moves you, but and then also like well, kind of melancholic, sentimental
Right.
feelings. And I think I don't know, I know that from music and songs. I don't know that that is I don't know, we just like doing that. And I think it's very, I mean, you can do it like very easily. I think like it just goes together very well somehow. Like music can do that, which is great because like this is all it's all like very common and like natural feelings that we all have.
Sure.
There's not only this or that, there's like so many. And I feel like music is a space where you can put all that into, and that's beautiful. I love that. There's no it feels like there's no boundaries. There's no emotional boundaries while creating music. And yeah, it's a great tool to yeah, to express basically.
Do you need music in that sense, or could you do without?
Yeah. No, yeah, no, I need it very much. I think we all need it. I mean, like, I would say every musician or like every human being needs some sort of way to express, itself. And whatever that is, that can be, I don't know, cooking, that can be writing, that can be talking or studying or like, I don't know, like so many different things. But I think we all need that. Um, and for us, being musicians, it is music that we need to create and also need to listen to. And yeah, it's just like it is, yeah, luckily it became our tool of dealing also with this world and connecting with the world.
Sure. You say listening as well. So what is how? I don't just want to ask you like what are a couple of bands that you listen to, but what do you try to find in the music that you listen to? Because I can imagine it's a very different process than when you write, and you don't want to be influencing your writing too much as well. So when you listen to music, is it just fun? Is it escapism? How do you relate to music that other people make?
Oh, I mean, it can be everything really.
Mm,
Like, of course, you're always kind of looking for stuff that you haven't heard before, in some sort of way. And but I mean, it really depends on, like I love to get inspired by songs and like
Okay,
or like to discover like really good songwriting or like to discover like really good electronic music or like reggae music or whatever. Like it can be everything. And yeah, sometimes you're just like going out or go clubbing and then the music is just like, it's all about the movement, the physical
sure.
movement and like the flow and like the beat and like having fun and dancing. And I love that. I love dancing. But of course, like sometimes you're in a different mood and you're just like listening to, yeah, whatever can be. And also like you can be inspired by all of that. And I also feel like I don't know, I don't think that we're afraid of like being inspired by other
Mm,
music too much
sure.
because that's what music is about. It is about creating, sharing, being inspired by other music, and then create something new with that, like something personal. And I really feel like, music is an open space. It is a universal language, and we all have, I mean, more and easily nowadays, but we can all have access to that,
And
and that's great.
I think that's the interesting thing as well with the music that you guys make is there, as you mentioned, the threshold is very low now. Pretty much everybody with an iPhone or something can record music these days or can create something.
Yeah.
And especially in the electronic music world, there's been so much music in the past 10, 15 years. Sorry, but one thing I really enjoy about the way you guys make music, there's also obviously your voice makes it very specific or has a lot of characters, so you know it's you guys. But also, you don't make the obvious choices in terms of textures and kind of certain
Mm,
sounds. I mean, for instance, with Like a Clown, it's this very interesting type of sounds, these very interesting types of sounds that you use. So is
yeah.
that just, as you mentioned, is that just trial and error and trying things out, or do you really look for certain things that come out of left field a little bit?
Um, I think it is a mixture of like, yeah, as you said, trying like being curious and trying out new things and looking for sounds that inspire us, that we feel like, oh, that's a nice sound. I haven't heard something like that
Mm,
before, maybe. Or yeah. Um, and also it's a matter of taste, I feel like, like the sounds that we're creating and that we're using also just like shows our taste in music because
sure.
we like we like that. We like these sounds that we're using, of course. So yeah, it is something that is in us and also something that we're looking for. I think it is really like a mixture of that. And yeah, I mean we all like we're coming from playing instruments, like we love to
Right.
play instruments. We're not programming all the time. Uh, of course, like we also like love to use like plugins and like, make like funny, quirky sounds and all that. But um, like the ideas and like the melodies and all that and the arrangements, it also comes from playing a lot. So I think it is really that mixture for us that makes our sound kind of.
Yeah, I think you can really hear it, especially one of the things that I don't like about a lot of modern electronic music is that the drums and stuff feel very hollow and flat, and but yours still sound very warm as if somebody is actually playing drums, you know. So that's
Yeah.
you manage to capture that feeling of a band feeling, but then also have these dancey elements to it, which is really cool, I think. Final
Thank
question
you.
then. because
Yeah.
the album is called "Living in a Haze," like the first song on the album. When did that
hmm
title kind of solidify itself as the album title?
Um, yeah, we were looking for an album title for quite a while. And it's not that easy if you don't like if you're not the conceptual band, you know? Like
Sure.
because like in the end an album is just like a collection of the work that we've done over the last 2 years. It's just a collection of songs. So there's not like one main topic or whatever. So we were just like looking for a title that kind of shows, yeah, what we are, or like that fits to what we are and who we are as musicians or as a band, and that, but also like sounds cool, in a way.
Well,
And
sorry, very sorry to interrupt, but very quickly then, and this is really the final question. But are you people that live try to live in the moment, or are you also people that plan ahead a lot? Because what you now just mentioned, I find interesting. Are you kind of
yeah, I mean, we plan a little bit, but not too much.
hmm,
I think our we're coming more from, as you said, living in the moment. And but I think over the years, talking about, because like yeah, like the touring, and
right?
and now we also like we have family, we have kids and all that, so we
Hmm.
had to learn to plan ahead at least a little bit, because it's a lot of organization and planning and logistics and all that, so we had to learn that, but it's not where we come from. I would
Fair
say.
enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Clemens, may I thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me.
Yeah, pleasure. Thank you for having me. And yeah, have a good one. Take care, man.